After weeks of threats comes the reality, as US immigration and customs enforcement officials conduct arrests across the greater Chicago area. There are similar scenes around the US. According to US government officials, hundreds of arrests and deportations of illegal migrants are taking place on a daily basis. This comes after US President Donald Trump signed a host of sweeping executive orders targeting illegal immigrants.
Offering our church as a sanctuary for those who are fleeing deportation.
But some groups are still promising to resist the clampdown. This is a multi-faith coalition gathering at a church in Evanston, Illinois, just outside Chicago.
There are ways to have an immigration policy that secures the border, that keeps our people safe, and that has nothing to do with tearing families around and terrifying children. And the idea that there's any need to do that awful thing in order to do the necessary thing, I think is a lie perpetrated by people who are trying to pick a fight and act as bullies.
Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, and acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove were in Chicago over the weekend. Homan says for now they are focusing on criminals with arrest warrants and deportation orders. But he also acknowledges that there may be arrests of people without criminal backgrounds. Chicago is a so-called sanctuary city, which means city authorities and the local police will not cooperate or share information with US immigration and customs enforcement officials. But that has not stopped the arrests and deportations. While agents also raided this worksite last week in Newark, New Jersey, another sanctuary city. One of the Trump administration's new directives will allow federal authorities permission to target what were considered sensitive areas, such as schools and churches, once deemed off limits. But some faith leaders, church groups and civic leaders are fighting back and say they will continue to open their doors to immigrants to provide short-term emergency shelter.
Are people who are willing to put their considerable privilege or resources to bear on making sure that they know that they're not alone, that they have a place to go, and that we care, and that it's not going to be something where we ignore this issue. In fact, we're going to be very active on it.
The uptick in arrests of migrants appears to be just the start. Trump officials say daily deportations are set to rise in the coming months as they expand operations. Dan Williams, CGTN, Evanston, Illinois.